Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. On sign language, Elizabeth Nakakoni. Let's dig into it. Construction works for the Uganda high-tech education and health infrastructure projects funded by the Region Foundation is on course. The foundation is a Brussels-based non-political financial institution. Projects worth $500 million will establish and develop financially self-sustaining high-tech education and health infrastructure for teaching purposes under a finance, build, own, operate and transfer model. The Bridging team, accompanied by Uganda's ambassador to Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg and the European Union, His Excellency the Ambassador Miran Black, met and briefed the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, at State House, Nakasero. During the meeting, the First Lady was taken through the progress achieved so far in executing the first phase of the projects under the education sector. Now, the Ministry of ICT and NITA-U have announced a reduction in the cost of internet rendered to government ministries, departments and agencies from $70 to $35 per MB per second, effective 1st August 2023. This is aimed at enabling government deepen e-services as it embarks on a drastic digitization agenda.
And effective today, it's now going to be $35 per megabyte per second per month.
The reduction of internet costs from $70 per megabyte per second to $35 per megabyte per second comes at a time when NITA-U has just completed the fourth phase of the national backbone infrastructure, a network that hosts various government ministries, departments and agencies' systems across the country.
If you bring that down to 35, it means the $35 saved now can actually be utilized for another government service. So you have half the cost now that was going particularly to internet costs, to parish models, to hospital services, electoral commission, census preparations. That cost that's being used within government now can now be transferred to actually be used for other government services.
Uganda's internet charges for government have been the highest in the region at $70 per megabyte per second. The new cost makes government a beneficiary of the cheapest internet on the market. This factor could influence private sector internet providers to lower their charges in the short term.
And this has a lot of implications. It means that many more can be hooked. It is much more affordable and there will be more efficiency in running government services, but also this will impact on the other providers in the private sector, and as a consequential effect, the cost of internet and data will also come down.
We are taking internet to, let me say the region that we are going to, Kabong. And Kabong doesn't have stable power. Why don't we also take electricity there? Or why don't we go green? And that's what we are doing now. All our transmission sites are now on solar. So in case there's no grid, we still have internet.
NITA-U will start implementing the fifth phase of the national backbone infrastructure, which involves last-mile connections in the hard-to-reach areas. But low electricity coverage is a potential threat that could slow down this development. Wadulo Mark Arnold, UBC News, in Kampala.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Geraldine Sali, has defended the delay to secure the furniture from Footsteps Furniture Company Limited, worth billions. Footsteps Furniture was awarded a double contract and paid 100% to supply furniture to the Ministry of Trade, but has since not fulfilled. The Permanent Secretary attributes the delay of the delivery of the furniture to the recent move to renovate the offices and refuted claims of conflict of interest in the procurement process.
And we have a factory and a store in Mukono, based in Mukono.
Footsteps Furniture Company Limited is currently housing furniture worth 1.5 billion meant for the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, even after all payments were successful.
Would be very concerned if anything happens, if insurance has been taken to secure the furniture. Thank you.
In any case, if there is fire, Footsteps is fully insured. We are not going to run away because of 1.1 billion.
The management of Footsteps Furniture was summoned by the Parliamentary Committee on Trade and Tourism to clear the controversy. In attendance was also the accounting officer, Geraldine Sali.
It's really short term, which is less than 12 months. Now, I think if he gives us the probability of those risks happening, I think the insurance underwriters would have taken all that into account.
Accordingly, Footsteps Furniture bagged 54.7 million shillings to replace furniture for the current Ministers of Trade when the latter took office, but this was before the PS, Sali, was appointed to the ministry. Later, another contract worth 1.196 billion shillings was again bagged by Footsteps Furniture to supply the entire Ministry of Trade, but after facelifting and renovation was done.
Did you find any irregularities with them to help this country? No?
Actually, I never interfere in the procurement process, so my staff know about all these companies more than me. I first heard about it when Parliament started asking about this furniture. There are two different procurements.
So this is different?
It's totally different,
from
sir.
The 1.1 billion?
It's different, sir.
Okay.
What proof of delivery did you have before paying this money?
Honorable Chair, the process we use to make payments is that after the user department has received the goods, they write to the accounting officer requesting for authorization of payment, confirming that the goods they requested for have been supplied.
PS Geraldine Sali, when asked why 100% payment was done, she had this to answer.
Given the circumstances, I looked at the due diligence of how they've been paying their taxes in URA. I looked at their financial feasibility, existence out of the financial services sector. Good enough, I'm privy to such information. I did my own due diligence and I decided to take the risk as opposed to have money going back to the consolidated fund and not come back.
As the MPs cite conflict of interest in procurement of the furniture, the PS Geraldine Sali refuted. The MPs requested that the files of both contract be forwarded to the committee to help in investigation. The officials from the Ministry of Trade say the procurement was done through a domestic open bidding. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Sections of Port Bell Road starting at Nakawa traffic lights will be closed off for 15 days starting the 1st of August till the 15th. Kampala Capital City Authority says the action will enable installation of drainage culverts, hence calling for cooperation from the public.
Kampala Capital City Authority and the Japanese International Cooperation Agency is implementing a project for the improvement of 27 junctions and a traffic control center in Kampala. In a statement, Kampala Capital City Authority informs the public to use alternative routes off the Nakawa Portwell Junction, which has been completely closed to traffic. Sulamwezi, one of the boda riders staging at the junction, requests KCCA for a quickening in the junction improvements that have halted the normal flow of business along the Port Bell Road.
Ngudo bakola enguudo bakolako katono ne lumala ebbanga lya mwezi mulamba enguudo tebazimaliriza wulidde batugamba batuyita mu nguudo tusengangana batusibiddeyo tetulina bwe tuyita wulidde kati ekyokukola tunakola tutya wulidde namwe gavumenti mutusobedde ekyokukola mutusobedde mutunyigiriza nnyo ekimala mututaase enguudo ziri bubi nnyo enguudo mbi nnyo nga gye zikomye wulidde enguudo bajja okukola enguudo emyala tebagimaliriza enguudo tezigwa.
The Nakawa East Member of Parliament, Ronald Nsubuga Balimwezo, who also doubles as the chairperson City Roads Committee KCCA, however, is not pleased with the ongoing works in his constituency, saying it's a waste of the taxpayers' money.
We have other key stakeholders that are damaging our roads. We have national water, we have Umeme, we have Uganda police who are in charge of the cameras. These guys, as soon as we make roads, they come and cut them and fail to reinstate them. So I'm calling a meeting to harmonize so that we can save taxpayers' money. Here today, there is a big interchange here. That total you see is going. Part of the market is going because of that big interchange, the biggest interchange that we have in the country. And the Kampala Ginger Express Highway.
Additionally, Balimwezo says there has to be a harmonization between KCCA and JUNRA following the signalization of junctions and construction of roads in Kampala.
My worry was that before we do this, let us try to harmonize. And I've called a meeting, I've discussed with a number of ministers for us to have a harmonization meeting. Because I even raised this in the Parliament of Uganda. When UNRWA came out and started removing asphalt just at the junction where these people are going to make one of the junctions, signalized junction. It is the mandate of Kampala capital city to make road infrastructure from here up to Spear.
The ongoing project is part of the infrastructure development by KCCA and Japanese International Cooperation Agency to improve traffic control in Kampala, which includes the construction of 27 junctions and a traffic control center. This comes in after a roads inspection in the divisions of Nakawa and Machindye by the Minister of Kampala, Hajat Minsa Kabanda, and the Executive Director KCCA, Dorothy Chisaka, aiming at improving city infrastructure and navigation. Justin Nakami, UBC News.
And the Uganda National Bureau of Standards has impounded hundreds of substandard tires downtown Kampala in an operation to counter substandard goods on the market. The operation follows a series of public outcry over the standard of goods sold on the market.
Uganda National Bureau of Standards has conducted an operation for substandard tires in downtown Kampala and impounded hundreds of tires for non-conformity. Ador Dennis from Uganda National Bureau of Standards notes that the operation follows a public outcry on substandard tires, which has flooded the market. Most tires impounded were poorly stored and damaged. Some of the car operators appreciated the operation to crack down on substandard products on the market. Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
And the Democratic Party has decried the high rate of road accidents on Ugandan roads and put the blame on the corrupt officials. It says this is a result of corruption and negligence of traffic officers. This was in reaction to the 31st of Monday, July traffic report. While addressing the press, the president of Uganda Young Democrats, Chiria Ismail, attributed the increasing road accidents to the money-minded attitude of traffic officers.
The Democratic Party wants government to address corruption in the Traffic Police Department, which is reportedly escalating road carnage in the country and executing penalties among the offenders. The president of the Uganda Young Democrats, Chiria Ismail, cited some of the spots on the roads where this vice is most common.
Clock Tower and some other places like roundabout of Mulago.
Penalties and fines are meant to compel motorists to follow traffic rules. However, if they are not paid, government loses revenue.
And yet when you stop someone and you punish someone, there are two things which will benefit as the country. One, someone is going to abide the laws on the road. Then secondly, once someone is given a penalty, the government is going to benefit out of it.
The Democratic Party, however, appreciates President Museveni for his endless endeavors to widen Uganda's political cooperation and security strength.
As the Democratic Party, therefore, we do appreciate the President's initiative of the international relations.
The DP leadership also congratulated the Kabaka of Buganda for successfully accomplishing 30 years on the throne coronation anniversary and reminded all those that are against the existence of monarchs in Uganda that these institutions play a very vital role in preserving the nation's culture in today's world of globalization. I'm Nafka Farida and Muhammad Kavuma.
Now, members of the Great Lakes Parliament have been urged to utilize their political and democratic legitimacy to ensure effective implementation of regional initiatives against illegal exploitation of natural resources. This is contained in a communique adopted after a Committee of Economic Development of the 7th meeting in Kampala of the Committee of Economic Development and Natural Resources. The committee vice chairperson James Kaberuka says time has come to make mineral wealth a blessing and not a curse for Africa.
Is the just adopted two-page communique of the Forum of Parliaments of the Member States of the International Conference on the Great Lakes region. It results from the 7th statutory meeting of the Committee on Economic Development, Regional Integration, and Natural Resources. Inside it is the urge to ensure dealing a blow to illegal exploitation of natural resources.
Urge the members of Parliament to continue to use their political and democratic legitimacy to ensure the effective implementation of regional initiative against the illegal exploitation of natural resources.
Also noted is the fact that mineral wealth in Africa has caused more pain than joy. Unrest has broken out, leading to displacement and generation of refugees. Children and women have suffered more, a trend that members of the forum want to see changed.
As they say, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. You have today taken more than one step. Your recommendations, your suggestions and insights will go a long way in ensuring that we remain focused and committed to the cause.
The exploitation of our labor is the modern slavery that we must fight against, because this is a committee responsible for the natural resources, natural empowerment. We need to empower ourselves to make sure we utilize that labor that we're exporting in the form of modern slavery.
And this is also why women and youth in mineral-endowed countries of the Great Lakes region are being brought on board.
We're saying, can we have approved certification of the miners? That's why we are now moving towards certifying, having a Great Lakes certification of the member states.
And once we empower the women and the youth, I think that's a move in the positive direction, because it would be empowering the whole nation. Because, as you know, they are part of the family, and you lessen the burden.
The two-day meeting of the forum has provided a platform for exchange of experiences among parliaments of the International Conference of the Great Lakes region. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Joint Nations Board has initiated the process of selecting eligible candidates to receive government sponsorship in tertiary institutions of learning. A total of 6,000 candidates will be chosen and assigned to 38 colleges offering courses in disciplines such as business, agriculture, forestry, technical and health-related fields.
At least 37,000 candidates who sat the Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education 2022 applied for the government sponsorship in the public tertiary institutions of learning by filling the Joint Admission Board forms. The selection process will consider only 6,000 students, prioritizing those interested in science-related courses to align with the country's development agenda.
We had a meeting for science-based programs in the technical colleges, as well as the health, education and training institutions. However, we also have smaller numbers of people admitted in the UCCs, especially for those programs which are very critical for national development.
The chosen candidates will be enrolled in 38 public colleges to pursue various courses in business, agriculture, forestry, technical and health-related fields. The ministry is currently constrained in increasing the number of enrollments beyond this limit.
No, the demand for our services is much higher than what we can provide for. And the answer is very simple. It's the economy. We want to take on almost everybody, because we want to take on everybody to access quality education, quality skills, that will enable people to fit into the job market demands, but we are limited with the resources.
College administrators advised not to deviate from the admission and operation policies.
I want you to look at the National Teachers Policy of 2019, TVET Policy of 2019. I want you to read and make your conversation with the new Act of 2022.
Despite the growing demand for psychiatric services, the Education Ministry has only two alternatives to provide specialized psychiatric training.
So going forward, the question that came on board that we have only two facilities in the country for tertiary education that offer psychiatric training, and those are things for planning. Now we are coming to appreciate the need. We have seen almost everybody require psychiatric interventions, require mental health intervention, require psychosocial support and so on. So going forward, as we plan, those are things that we can plan.
For successful candidates in technical and vocational education training, classes will commence on the 14th of September 2023, while those enrolling in health-related courses will commence on the 24th of August 2023. Abdul Nasir Luwama and Rogers Komagom.
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Buy the MTN WakaNet router, which connects up to 32 devices, and get a free 40 GB data bundle at only 149,000 shillings. Or buy the MTN WakaNet MiFi at only 75,000 shillings and enjoy a free 15 GB bundle to stream, study, work, and play on the go. Visit any MTN service center to buy the MTN WakaNet router or MiFi and enjoy the internet that does amazing things.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Introducing the Infinix Note 30 series in partnership with Airtel Uganda, a smartphone where style meets functionality. Take charge of the day with special features like the 108MP triple camera and 68 watts first charge, and the best part is you can use this phone to charge other phones. You also will enjoy free 3 GB from Airtel every month for 3 months on each new device purchased. Dial *100#, select data and devices to get your free data. The Infinix Note 30 series Spark, a connection in partnership with Airtel, a reason to imagine.
The land take for development of Tilenga, Kingfisher and East Africa crude oil pipeline projects in Uganda is approximately 6,900 acres with close to 10,000 project-affected persons. The compensation process involves an inclusive and participatory resettlement action plan study that provides for cash payment, physical resettlement, and livelihood improvement packages for the affected persons. 90% of all the project-affected persons have been fully compensated. 200 replacement houses have been constructed and handed over.
Ejugamadigera otma eni matinani iye maleng adonga chopo poringo kumacha sente dano wangu moko ola nyeo kodole moko machalo dielde moko konyo kodawia school nyekwaya gibeteka somo de.
Communities are also engaged in vocational skills, agriculture, financial literacy programs, employment, and contracting opportunities to improve their livelihoods and grow community content. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates back to ground. Sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Malaria is still the #1 cause of death in Uganda. To help you protect your family from malaria, the government of Uganda is giving mosquito nets to every household. Register and receive your mosquito nets from the community health worker. Distribution of nets in the following districts and cities will take place between the 1st and 15th of August. Kalyo, Sironko, Rakai, Bugweri, Masaka, Dokolo, Karungu, Chotera, Bududa, Luengo, Nakaseke, and Mbale districts, plus Masaka and Mbale cities. Every district will have received their mosquito nets by November. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. Sleep under a mosquito net every night. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from the Global Fund.
Under the net, no malaria will catch.
And in talking news, MTN has improved on their data voice bundles. You can now call across all networks for the same price. We've talked to several eyewitnesses on the ground, and this is what one of them had to say.
Amos, did you hear about the MTN Daily Voice Bundles? So, to join many more other Ugandans enjoying these MTN Daily Voice Bundles, dial *100 *21# or use the My MTN app to start enjoying. Hey, stay tuned for more offers from MTN.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. Pope Francis has called upon the youth to be fast in all things they do and in faith to emulate the behavior of Mother Mary. This is in his message to the youth as the start of a week-long of activities celebrating the International Youth Day in Lisbon, Portugal. The Chancellor, Kampala Archdiocese Father Dr. Pius Male Sentumbwe briefed the media in Kampala, urging Catholic youth to understand the catechism of Catholic Church.
Youth in the Catholic religion gather to celebrate their faithfulness from 1st to 6th August, a culture that was started by Pope John Paul II. This year, the International Youth Day is being celebrated in Lisbon, Portugal, where youth are to do spiritual pilgrimage, meet with the Holy Father, pray, present prayers for other youth.
Our youth are underemployed. They are working, but they are underemployed. They are not able to sustain themselves. The cost of living is a challenge for the young people. As you are all aware, when you're a youth, most cases you don't have a number of properties. So you have to struggle to make ends meet.
The day depends the faith of the youth, share cultural and environmental heritage with the Portuguese.
The Pope says youthfulness is also about being in a hurry. A youth who is sluggish, who doesn't happen things, will be left behind because this world is very fast. And it's giving us the model of Mother Mary. When she heard that her sister Elizabeth was pregnant with child, she rose in a haste. Because if she had laid, she would find her delivered already. So it says, the world is fast, let us be fast as youth, but also fast in faith.
The Chancellor, Kampala Archdiocese, Father Dr. Pius Male Sentumbwe said Ugandan youth are together with Pope Francis and has flagged off a delegation from Kampala to Lisbon.
To your friends, educate your friends, and make sure that at least you understand fully the catechism of the Catholic Church and what the Church really teaches. As we have a lot of challenges now, you are the people who are supposed to defend the church and also to come out with the proper teaching of the word of the Catholic Church and the Christianity as a whole. Mainly
Uganda will celebrate this day on 26 November 2023 at Bina St. Cyprian Church. And activities will include a conference on financial literacy, health camp, exhibition and charity.
It is that whatever we shall collect for charity as youth, we shall take to the prisons to support the brothers and sisters who are imprisoned there for the sake of Christ. We shall help them out.
They plan to spread the Lisbon message to the youth in Uganda during the international celebrations on 26th November. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa in Kampala.
And the Kasanda District Resident Commissioner, Fahira Mpala Nyibosa, has condemned political leaders and security who connive in unlawful evictions. The RDC was meeting 200 farmers formerly using part of the land belonging to Kasanda Sugar, which they had paid the manager Akim Zirimenya over 200 million shillings to allow them grow maize, but was transferred and they were stopped from using the land.
These farmers were using the Kasanda Sugar land. They paid the former manager over 200 million shillings to allow them use the land to grow maize. They accused Kasanda Sugar, the DISO of Nalutuntu, Julius Lutaisire, for conniving to stop them after they paid the money. They have petitioned Kassanda District Resident Commissioner Fahira Mpalanyi-Bosa to intervene and compel Kassanda Sugar Management extend another 4 months or refund the money.
Gisowe nalutuntu amanya gosiga manyungi naye gisowe nalutuntu ne batwala sente zaffe kati batwala sente ezo ate kati batuyimiriza tetuddamu kukola ki tetuddamu kulima.
Tumaze okusaawa bantu batandise okutema ebinnya alesa abasirikale nti muveemu.
Tegeroba omuzungu omuyindi oyo yali mu lukwe ne baki ne bamanejja kubanga bandi badde mu nsonga ne batuuda olwa tugamba katuleze ensonga zino katuli muki tuli mu bbanga
tetubakuumira mu kibiina kyaffe kya pate ekyenaremu kuba kyesaagala kwe kuddayo enkya nga ngenza okutalaaga mu bantu ate nsangeyo amakuuli.
They met the RDC Mpalanyi-Bosa, the area NRM chairperson Hussein Kavuma at Chakatebe Nansimbi, who advised them what to do when dealing with land matters.
Kubanga transaction ze twakola tayina waalabikira ali bbali newankubadde oli yazikola yali mukozi we asobola okumwegaana nti wawe nakulagirira okukola kino n'olwekyo yensonga lwaki ndaddemu element ey'obukkakkamu n'obuntu bulamu tugende tumwogereze tulabe nti akkiriza kye tulowooza kuba ebbanga lino siddeni.
She promised the farmers that he will convene a meeting with the investor, Abid Alam, and appointed a 6-member delegation. The Kassanda RDC also condemned leaders and security personnel for conniving with those involved in practices that flout the land law. I'm Navka Farida and Salongo Kasbante.
Meanwhile, Uganda is set to host the first ever international conference for women birders from the 6th till the 8th of December this year. The conference in Kampala will provide an international opportunity for women birders, wildlife management practitioners, in addition to empowering women in nature conservation.
Birdwatching is a globally cherished activity, with over 80 million birders traveling annually to different parts of the world for birdwatching. However, for Uganda, this unique tourism product is yet to pick up despite the abundant variety of rare birds in the country's wild.
At least by the end of this financial year, we almost brought in $900 million. So you can see that we contribute a lot to the economy, we contribute a lot to the employment. I was telling you, employ around 1.5 million Ugandans directly. So it's a huge sector.
So what we intend to do as Private Sector Foundation is make sure that the private sector continues to benefit through this wonderful part of the tourism sector, which is birding, something that is considered a niche but is actually an extremely lucrative economic contributor to the country and to the private sector itself.
The International Conference for Women Birders, slated for the 6th to 8th of December this year in Kampala, is an important forum for showcasing the unique bird species predominant to the Pearl of Africa. Over the years, the Club of Skilled Women Birders has grown exponentially from 10 women in 2013 to 150 women currently.
We started with those that were already established within the industry as general tourist guides. And we wanted to make them birders. We wanted them to be able to train other women and to inspire others. I'm happy to tell you that the number has grown to over 150 women across the country. These are both based at the site and those that work at national guides.
Uganda's bird population makes up 50% of Africa's bird species, with the country having approximately 1,100 recorded bird species.
And because it's a different kind of environment from, for example, Kampala or Queen Elizabeth, it makes it really intriguing to know what species are there, how are they doing, what are their numbers, what challenges are they facing, are their habitats still safe? So that's something that we need to know.
On average, birders spend 20 days during their trips contributing over $350 per day to the local economy. Uganda is expected to earn about $700 million from about 100,000 badders by 2030. Marion Awori, UBC.
And with that, we take a quick break. When we return, business news.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. His reason is to be the GOAT. The reason to imagine is to take the beat and make it lit. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
The Presidential CEO Forum, together with the Office of the Prime Minister and Captains of Industry in the private sector, in collaboration with the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, National Planning Authority and Kira Motors Corporation, will convene the 4th biannual private sector CEO retreat from August 2nd to 3rd, 2023 at the Kira Vehicle Plant in Jinja City under the theme Uganda's Industrialization Agenda, positioning Uganda as a net source of e-mobility solutions in Africa, hosted by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The 4th CEO's retreat will explore how to deepen value addition in Uganda's industry and build a sustainable and integrated e-mobility ecosystem in order to maximize the potential for development with substantial economic benefits, including wealth and job creation. To participate, please contact the Presidential CEO Forum Secretariat on 0393 249 530 and via email info@pcf.go.ug.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Step into the future of African coffee at the 2nd G25 Africa Coffee Summit hosted by Uganda. The summit will be held at Speak Resort Munyonyo from the 8th to the 10th of August 2023. Heads of state from Africa's 25 coffee growing nations and coffee value chain actors will delve into the theme Transforming the African Coffee Sector Through Value Addition. The summit is a defining moment for Africa's coffee growing nations. It's time to listen, innovate and invest in Africa's coffee future, ignite the potential of African coffee. Organized by the Government of Uganda through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries and Uganda Coffee Development Authority in collaboration with the Inter-African Coffee Organization.
Welcome back. Now in business news, Uganda Development Bank UDB has received a national long-term rating from Fitch, a renowned international credit rating agency, endorsing it as an institution capable of stimulating economic growth and improving livelihoods in the country. This rating enhances UDB's potential to access funding from multilateral funders at relatively lower rates, as investors are more likely to accept reduced lending rates for entities presenting lower default risks. Additionally, this higher rating enables the bank to access a broader audience of funders with greater ease and confidence.
How are the youth?
Uganda Development Bank, UDB, has received a national long-term rating of AAA UGA with a stable outlook from Fitch Ratings, a renowned international credit rating agency. This rating reflects the bank's robust institutional health and overall sustainability, demonstrating UDB's sound financial health in meeting its obligations to lenders and fulfilling its mandate.
Yes, the bank has been rated B+, a negative outlook. And this is pegged to the Uganda sovereign rating. And the reason for that is we are owned by government, so we cannot get an international rating superior than the sovereign. Achieving the national highest possible rating of AAA is a true testament to the bank's sound financial health in meeting its current and future obligations while fulfilling its policy mandate to the key sectors with significant development potential while ensuring institutional, economic, environmental, and social sustainability.
The bank lends funds on preferential terms to important and underserved sectors with government-guaranteed low-price borrowings to support projects that improve the quality of life across Uganda and contribute to the country's socio-economic agenda.
This is giving you a AAA rating. First of all, Fitch is one of the top 3 rating agencies globally. This is a reaffirmation of the bank's financial and operational resilience in conduct of our pursuit of our mandate as a bank. So this gives assurance to stakeholders, the people we work with, not only the customers, but also the funders, and also all Ugandans. This is a celebration for all Ugandans, really.
UDB acknowledges the support from the government in facilitating the bank's growth and success. The institution remains committed to identifying opportunities that positively impact the lives of Ugandans and contribute to the country's development.
But what I can say is that the impact is really there now, especially that our interventions have increased. We have currently our loan book, or our loans are currently over $1 trillion. This is all money deployed in different projects.
The AAA Wuga rating from Finch Ratings affirms UDB's strong financial position, policy importance, and ability to support critical sectors of Uganda's economy, positioning it for further growth and impactful development initiatives. Sandra Kahonde, Jamel Sekaja, News Tonight.
Women in Mitoma district have appealed to government through the Ministry of Finance to grant their village savings and credit societies a special women's fund to enable them access money for their small and medium enterprises. The women say that most times they seek credit from savings and credit cooperative societies but are denied access due to lack of collateral which is owned by men.
tuyambeho no turi abakazi tutine cyo tusinga bagwe batesente dugumize muno tukora n'abanisha bangu government twatreho etuhereze tugo etere mwe sento mu sako yito y'amatoke diretero haka interest kache ubundi nite tukakunda tuganyirwa
can give us money on a low interest. Suppose they get a helping hand from the government, then they give us specifically for women, because I can see very many women around me that would have developed, but they lack the fund. And the normal loan we get is at a higher interest rate. So most of the women are not able to access the loan. They live in fear. They don't have the mortgage. They don't have even the means to pay because they get low income.
We customers, we can be helped and get money in quickly, and even in a bit large sums, so as to improve on our culture activity.
They come here and they request for a loan. It's hard to give a loan without a security. Their husbands refuse to sign for them. They end up living in the life which is not really good. If the government can think about women and grant us, or they give us a loan on a small interest so that they can access that service, our nation can be somewhere.
Meanwhile, in the heat of Kampala, in the heart rather of Kampala, Kanzu Foundation, Ugandan company, is making waves in the tech industry by training the next generation of software developers and providing essential mentorship opportunities for ambitious youth. With a commitment to bridging the digital divide and nurturing local talent, Kanzu Foundation is revolutionizing the landscape of technology development in Uganda.
Kanzu Foundation has designed comprehensive training programs tailored to equip aspiring developers with the latest industry-relevant skills.
Please follow your passion, follow your dreams. You need your tenacity to go after that dream. So do not let the stereotypes that are around discourage you. Follow your dream, get into the tech space. It's amazing. You will love it. You will enjoy being an engineer.
Kanzu Code Foundation provides hands-on skills-based programs for young African graduates, primarily in software engineering.
At Kanzu Code, we are big on innovative world-class digital solutions that help our clients experience a better world. We are big on tech going global, Ugandan tech going global. I am a woman and I'm into engineering, I'm into development. So if you're a lady out there that is hoping to get into the tech space, this is just an encouragement for you that it is possible.
Through intensive coding boot camps and specialized workshops, participants are exposed to various programming languages, software development methodologies, and real-world projects that mirror industry challenges. The hands-on approach ensures that graduates are job-ready and capable of making an immediate impact in the technology sector.
And the goal for us is to ensure that we have a pipeline in place whereby we have so many young people that are actually getting trained, but then also getting developed, getting deployed into the tech ecosystem.
Kanzu Code Foundation technical mentor Sankara shared their vision for the future, saying that fellows grow in software engineering skill by building real-world digital tools for businesses and communities.
It's very important for them to actually get the skills that they need to actually thrive and compete, not just locally or regionally, but on a global level. So our training programs do teach software engineering and all areas within that.
As Uganda embraces the digital age, initiatives like Kanzu Code Foundation are instrumental in fostering a tech-savvy workforce that can shape the country's future. Through their dedication to nurturing local talent and empowering youth in the tech industry, Kanzu Code Foundation has proved that when passion and education combine, the possibilities for innovation and growth are limitless. Mutonyi Hilda and Vincent Wamundu, UBC.
And now in sports, the Uganda Sports Press Association will hold activities on road safety starting on the 2nd till the 5th of August. The activities start with Mass at Christ the King Church, painting of zebra crossings, awareness on road safety, and an exhibition football tournament. These start from the Constitutional Square grounds to Lugazi. Uganda Sports Press Association also commemorates 4 journalists who died in the tragic road accident at Chikola, 1 kilometer from Lugazi town that's on August 27th, 2001. The 4 sports scribes, Kenneth Matovu, Simon Peter Ekarot, and Leo Kabunga from New Vision, as well as Francis Bate from Daily Monitor.
The public that this is our cause, that this is the right message, this is the behavior that all of us must subscribe to. Tomorrow also join us in the Requiem Mass, where I will also remember the reposite souls of our members who have perished over the years. At Christ the King Church, we welcome you as we send the message and continue to propel the message of right road usage, right road behavior, and also how we all conform to the standards that make us the good citizens, and also be able to adjust our positions simply to make other road users safe and give them the advantage that is required to everyone.
I want to thank everyone who is involved in this. I know you have several activities you're going to run on the main day, but I want to thank everyone who has participated and all other partners who have supported USPA in this cause. And hopefully, as USPA or as sports journalists, you can create an impact and reduce on the road carnage on our Ugandan roads.
And the 20th edition of the World Aquatics Championships concluded in Japan as 5 swimmers from Uganda were able to better their personal best times and national records on the international scene. Let's take a look.
Over 2,362 athletes from 191 countries swam in Fekua waters during the 20th edition of the World Aquatics Championships in Japan. Uganda's 5 swimmers raced against the world's best. Adnan Kabuye swam 26.54 seconds in the 50-meter butterfly event, which was a personal best for him. Nalwoza and Mary swam in 28.97 seconds, matching the national record time she set at the World Junior Games in Peru a year ago. Kirabona Mutebi swam a 26.01 and a 59.83 in the women's 50-meter and 100-meter freestyle events, respectively. While her brother, Ugandan-Hungarian best swimmer Tendo Mokalazi, swam a 23.94 and a 52.62 in the 50 and 100-meter freestyle races as well. In the team relay events, the 4x100 medley saw Uganda record a time of 4 minutes 19 seconds, less than half a minute slower than eventual winners China. Elsewhere, there were 10 world records set that included Francis Leon Marchard in the men's 400-meter individual medley, as he surpassed the record Michael Phelps owned for over a decade, which was the longest world record in swimming history. Uganda and world swimming will now turn focus to next year's Paris Olympic Games. Marsha Miro, UBC News.
And the National Schools Chess champions have been flagged off to Tau, Kazakhstan for the Chess Schools World Cup. The tournament that starts Friday gathers the best chess schools across the world. More than 50 schools will be competing in the 2 categories, under 12 and 17 respectively. Peak Primary School is sending 5 players to the games, while Friends International School is sending 4. After a month's training, they believe the team is ready for the challenge.
Excited. So exciting that it's the girls. You know, many of these things, I was listening to World Cup and they were saying that most of these are male dominated. But the fact that we have the girls, who one of them is less than 10 years, she's so young, P3, competing on the world stage, it's very, very exciting. So
traveling with my team to Kazakhstan, Tau, and we are going to play.
From Mokas, I've helped our team so much with online training. We have had coaches coming around, we have had a camp, preparing friendly matches. We played the KTLC team of Kamocha, the friendly match. We played Gombe High School, the friendly match. And we are playing tournaments. The nationals have also been on. People are playing the national league. So many things have been done to ensure that the team is in the best state to represent the country in Kazakhstan.
Wishing them all the best of luck as they go to Kazakhstan.
Well, and that does it for news tonight. For now, we do return at 10 o'clock with more details, but for now, we'll leave you with the weather update with Maureen Kenyana.
Well, hello there. Good evening and a very warm welcome to tonight's weather report. My name is Maureen Kenyana. This afternoon, we did see a lot of rains come through for parts of Midwestern Uganda, much along the western sector, and also most areas within the country. By evening, we did see most of those rains, and these were coming in due to the southeasterly winds that are coming in from Indian Ocean towards the country, and those are contributing to the wet weather activities that we are seeing across much of the country, especially across the eastern sector, as well as parts of the north and also much of western Uganda. We also do have local effects that are helping to enhance most of those wet weather activities. Now, from this, we can anticipate that tomorrow in the morning we will start off with mostly rainy conditions. Those will be across the central and western part of Lake Victoria Basin. Otherwise, much of central Uganda, we do expect to have intervals of sunny and cloudy conditions. And as well as we move on to the western part of the country, we do expect to have mostly sunny intervals, although we will be seeing rains developing, that is across much of Midwestern Uganda. Now, the eastern part of the country, we do expect to have mostly sunny conditions with light showers expected across the eastern part of Lake Victoria Basin. As we move on to the northern part of the country, we do expect to have those rains again that will be across parts of the Choga region, as well as the Karamoja region. Now, crossing over into the afternoon, we do expect to have those rains again that will be across much of Central and the Lake Victoria Basin, with temperatures going up to 29. That will be across parts of Ruwero and Nakasongola. Now, looking at the western Uganda, we'll see those rains developing for most of the areas, with temperatures expected to go up to 28. That is across Masindi. And for the Kabale Highlands, we do expect the temperatures will be going up to 26 degrees centigrade with sunny intervals. Now, for the eastern part of the country, we expect to have rains developing for most of the areas, with temperatures in the upper 20s. Crossing over onto the northern region, we do expect that most of the areas will be developing into thunder showers. Most of that will be across several regions, with temperatures going up to 31 for central northern Uganda. Now, some of the cities that we have for you across the world, we are forecasting a sunny day for Dubai. Temperatures will be at 42, quite a warm day over there. Also likely to have sunny conditions again for Cairo, and light showers are expected for Hong Kong as well as Paris. That is it from the Weather Center for now. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good evening.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.